while we do think we have our left tackle in the future in Josh Simmons, now attention kind of turns to filling the void left by Joe Thuney at left guard. And Joe Thuney, obviously, one of the best left guards we've had. And been a stalwart at that spot for the last, I don't know how many, but 6-7 years. It seemed like the guy lived in the Super Bowl. So he'll definitely be missed. So last year we got a little decent sample size of Mike Caliendo down the stretch last season, but that performance kind of left some question marks. Now enter Kingsley Suamataia, who's being looked at as a serious contender for the job. Here's what Andy Reid had to say about the upcoming battle.
The position switch, I guess, just how has he been coming along and what makes him maybe a better fit for that inside position?
Yeah, so we moved him there for that second Denver game. So I mentioned that was one of the positives, one of the only positives that came out of that game. So I thought he did a nice job there. And so we're moving him in there. And listen, Spags runs a million different looks, so this is the best thing for him to get in there and have a bunch of things thrown at him. And he's doing a nice job so far. So.
Do you consider that an open competition still for left guard? Do you want to see what Kingsley can bring?
Yeah, so, he and Caliendo are working there and doing that. Yeah.
So, JD, you look at the limited action we got from Kingsley Suamataia in that Denver Broncos game, which Andy said that was one of the only bright spots in that horrible game, versus the six-game stretch that Caliendo had last year. Who do you think has the edge heading into training camp, JD? I mean, is it going to go to the guy who just played more last year? He naturally has the first reps, or is it going to go by that one game sample size that they saw from Kingsley that they really like his potential, so they're going to slide him into the starting spot? I was curious because Caliendo didn't blow me away at all. He had the worst PFF grade in that Super Bowl. I think his average PFF grade for the 6 games was like 50 something. It wasn't good by any means. And I'm not a PFF guy by any means, but I mean, his PFF grade was awful, just by the eye test. It wasn't what you want.
Yeah. Who has the edge? I think it's an open battle. I really do. But saying that, I do believe that King Suma might have the edge here. He's a younger guy, kind of brand new to the position. I think he'll bring a lot of his tenacity he had out there at tackle to left guard. It's a lot easier job for him. I think he did a great job in college as far as what the talent he went through. Is he strong enough to handle it? That's kind of one of those things. And the thing is, he has to anchor down immediately right now. So once he gets all the fundamentals and the technique down, I think that's what they want to be able to, really gauge and see. And so once they start doing that, you're going to see a lot of rotation between those two just to see who's going to be the best fit, who's going to be the best one. But I do believe that maybe King Suma probably has this, have the leg up on in this challenge, because he's a first round pick for a reason. So I know he's supposed to play tackle, but when you have somebody right here in your face at guard and you're an athletic guy, it's a lot easier position. It's a lot easier position. So I think it's going to take a lot of the guesswork out of it, some of the calls, or just being put on the island. I think it's going to help him out a lot, tremendously. Not just physically, but also mentally. I think it's going to help him out a lot, right? Because you got Creed on the inside, and then on the outside you got Simmons or Jalen Moore on the outside of you. So I do believe that. Look, and this is nothing against Mike. I think Mike did a pretty decent job when he got in. When we needed him in a pinch, Mike came through. He did a pretty decent job. But they want a little bit more than just a decent job. They want a great job. They want a much better job than what Mike showed the last 6 games of the season, especially in the Super Bowl. But that's, to be honest with you, everybody kind of got their butt kicked on the offensive line during the Super Bowl, right? Those guys will let you know that. All those guys are disappointed. But this is gonna be a good battle. It's gonna be a good battle to see it, man. So.
Yeah, today Andy Hack actually spoke about just Kingsley overall. So, Coach Andy Hack, Kingsley Suamataia, I think he can be a phenomenal guard. We're still getting him tackle work as well. I think he can play left or right tackle in this league. On him at guard, the thing that makes him well suited for guard is his size and his strength. He's still growing as a football player. He just needs experience. So,
Who would say that?
Andy Heck.
Oh yeah, yeah. There it is. I mean, that's right. That's coming right out of the horse's mouth. You know, the main evaluator of things, who knows who he is. I've been watching him. Can you read that again one more time?
Yeah, so I think he could be a phenomenal at guard. We're still getting him tackle work. I think he can play left or right tackle in the league. The thing that makes him well suited for guard is his size and strength. He's just growing as a football player, just needs experience.
Yeah. We're going to find somewhere to have Joker to play. Like you said, they're still using him at tackle. But I think they're sitting there saying, man, he's got the size and the strength to play this position. I don't see – it's going to be hard to beat him out. He's athletic enough, man. You're going to see what you're going to be able to get out of him, that position, man. So –
yeah, and he also went on to say he compared Kingsley's development to former Chiefs guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. So, and Tardif was a pretty solid guard for us for a couple of years. So, I mean, hey, I'll take the comparison all day and take it to the bank.
I think he's just saying, he's just picking it up. I think for Suamataia, because of his athletic ability and stuff like that, I think he'll do a much better job than the doctor. For sure. Yeah. And Sasha says Micah Becton went from the bench to offensive tackle to Pro Bowl guard. So, yeah, I mean, you've seen a lot of these guys have made the switches before. So, I mean, hey, if they switched him, they saw what he could do in that Denver Broncos game. And that, like what Andy said there, talking about that being one of the only bright spots. I remember when he did the grades the next day, you had pointed out that he actually looked solid at guard in that game. That stood out to both you guys. That's interesting that, both you guys are saying, hey, like one of the few bright spots of that game, horrible game, but left guard, when Kingsley went in there at guard, he actually looked pretty decent. And that was, first time playing guard ever. Yeah. Yeah. I think we might know a little bit what we're talking about, Marcus.
Yes, sir. I think so. Just a little bit.
Yes.
But I'll say this. I pulled out a clip because Kingsley better win that left guard spot, because I can't bear to watch this ever again. I can't bear to watch a game where I'm seeing my left guard get picked up like that, like how Caliendo did against that Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. I can't do it, JD. I can't do it.
Well, look, go. Okay, we're watching this. I mean, Pat is getting sandwiched by the tackles. Tackles are getting bench pressed. These are two. I mean, here's Joe Thuney. Yeah, Caliendo, man, you get caught like that. Help me! Oh, get it! You can't do that, man. Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Once you got up underneath that leverage,
Yikes.
It was game over then. Game over.
But that's why when people want to knock offensive line this year, it's like, we won't have a backup left guard playing as a starting left guard anymore. And we won't have a left guard playing the starting left tackle anymore. So that's gone. So right off the bat, you've improved. Not saying that whoever's going to take over left guard is going to be better than Thuney, but because we'll have a normal left guard and a normal left tackle, we'll naturally be better on that left side than we were last year at the 7-game stretch. That ultimately we still got to the Super Bowl with having that kind of poor left side, but we should naturally be better than that.
Yeah, it's the only downfall is because we don't have Joe Thuney out there. It's hard to replace a guy like that, man. He's one of the best in the league, without a doubt. Without a doubt, man. Joe Thuney, what he was able to do, the heroic effort going out to left tackle. That joker right there, man. If I catch that joker somewhere, man, I'm gonna buy him 5 beers if he drinks. I'm gonna buy you a beer. Matter of fact, I'll get you a keg, whatever you want, man. I'll buy you a meal. You did a hell of a job, okay? Hell of a job. I might stand up and give him a standing ovation.
Yeah, I mean, what he did, and I know we're saying, like, wish we had, a guy like Simmons or Jalen Moore at the left tackle spot, but, I mean, still, what he did for us last year, commendable, because, I mean, as you talk about, Jay, it's not easy to do what he did last year, and, of course, when we played a really stout defense in the Super Bowl, we couldn't sustain that level of play anymore. I mean, it's just you can't sustain that.
Let me say this: I'm not here to dump on Caliendo. Okay, I think he did a great job coming in. Also, too, where Joe had to move out, Caliendo moves in. I think he did a decent job most of the time. Like I said, I keep saying he did a decent job. Obviously there's like that film, that clip. There's going to be different times that you're going to see it, but Caliendo, man, he did a decent job, man. He did a decent job, and hopefully he's just working on getting better. Same thing, pushing for him, pushing for him. So,
yeah, I know, and of course, if you get tape on all these guys, you're going to see like flubs and stuff like that.
Get beat, man, it's going to happen.
I will say that was one of the first times I've ever seen a guard get picked up like that before. Just throw. I've seen guys get smacked, but like to be picked up like that, like he was getting taken down in a UFC match. It stuck to me. It's one of the clips that will always stick to me. When I think of Mike Caliendo, I think of that clip. But hopefully, another year, hopefully it gets better with a full offseason of knowing he is going to be the guy, or if Kingsley lights a fire under his butt to make him be the best possible left guard he can be. That I'm all for. Let the best man win. But yeah, I can't do that again, JD. And I'm sure PM15 doesn't want to see that again either.
Well, I know. I'll say this. I know he'll come in. He'll try his best when he comes in the pinch. So I still got a little faith in him. Like I said, he was able to come in and do somewhat. So we'll see what the battle's going to be. Okay, Mike Caliendo might come in here. And everybody, Sam Lofton is saying he's too light. Justin Wackler said, JD, you've been too kind. Now, this is what I know about football players, okay? I know guys get embarrassed, and they don't want to see it happen again. As much as we didn't want to see that little bit of clip and film, he doesn't either. He understands the embarrassment. He had to live it. So for him, shoot, that sucker might be showing that clip every week to himself. Like, this right here cannot fly. I cannot let this happen again. So what guys do, they go to work. They go straight to work. So as Sasha said, he won't have his pads that high again. And yeah, Marcus, guys get caught like that. You go up and down that line. I'm just going, let's be real. Okay, we're going to tell the truth here. All right. Last year, we could go up and down the line on guys getting beat. It happens in the NFL. It's gonna happen. It is gonna happen. Okay. Everybody didn't play their best ball. They didn't on the offensive line. So we're looking for those guys to absolutely rectify themselves from what they did from last year. They want them to get better, and those guys want to get better. They want to do a much better job protecting Pat than what they did. Okay. I guarantee none of those guys are sitting back saying, yeah, you know what? I did a great job last year. I don't know any offensive lineman that says that. All them guys want to get better. And so when I'm saying these things, I'm not saying it just to be nice. I'm saying these things because I understand the drive the guys have, especially when something like this happens. If you mess up, you're going to get pissed off about it. You want to come back stronger. You can't sit back and like, yep, I'm good where I'm at. No, sir. And I'm sure Mike Caliendo is not doing that either. I guarantee Mike Caliendo is going to work, become a much better left guard. And so if we get a left guard birthed out of this type of, I don't want to say beating or
disaster,
being exposed, we get a much better left tackle on Mike Caliendo, I'm all for it. So that's the reason I say those things. Okay. So I got to always understand. I take it from the perspective of a player. I know Mike is pissed off. His family probably seen this and heard it. His old coach from college and everybody else probably heard it and talked about it too. Believe me, hey, if something happened to me on the field, guess who was the first one to let me know about it? My family. It never failed. And some of them just, hey, they keep it real with you. What they supposed to do?
I know you. I know you got a lot of those types in the Dunn film. I know Chad's gonna let you know if someone whooped your butt or whatnot. And I know how he is.
He'll say it anyway. They didn't have to be. I remember defensive man, I'm like, nah, man, you ain't never seen that. You ain't never see that. Now. No better than that. Sure.
We all need a Chad to keep us even keel.
Yeah.
But also too, like on top of like seeing clips like that, like he's being reminded about that because obviously if we remember that, he definitely remembers getting his butt kicked like that. But also too, the reports that came out after the Super Bowl was that Andy Heck wanted to bench him and put Kingsley in the left guard. That's also something too that definitely plays in your mind. Like, hey, look, like this offensive line coach wanted to bench me in the last game we had. Is that something that also like plays a part of this, like too, like to kind of like help me kind of like train and get better for this year? Like knowing that last time I was out of the field, they wanted to bench me.
I don't. Was that the report? I thought the report was more so moving Joe Thuney back down to left guard and bringing DJ Humphries out. I thought that was more of the conversation.
Was that the report?
I thought that was I was under that impression that he was sitting there saying, "Look, this experiment that we're doing with Joe Thuney, like let's see what DJ Humphries is and see how he was going to." Because we knew what the contingency plan could have been, right? You put DJ Humphries in. Joe Thuney's still down there left guard. If something happens, he gets beat, then we just go move it back out again. So
I'm trying to look for it, but yeah, you might be right there. Yeah.
I thought that was more so because that's what he was kind of Andy Heck was alluding to, like that whole move of like we've gotten away with it so far, but I don't like staying on this. As far as this, everybody's it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, yeah, it is a little broke, we right now we have the spare tire on. So you don't want to have to keep the spare tire, especially we got a good tire back here. I got a little wear and tear in it, right? The tread may not be what it is, but meaning DJ Humphries, if everybody knows what I'm talking about, put that tire in, still be able to get you where you need to get to. So I do believe that's what the conversation was, Marcus. At least that's what I understood it to be.
Yeah, because I think because I remember the Kingsley was warming up on the sideline, and I thought that was that was the thing. Because yeah, Sammy Lawrence says Jay's right. That would have been a better idea, but Kingsley was warming up on the sign for something. I thought that's what it was. They were going to keep him there, and they were going to put Kingsley in, and I don't know if that was moving what's his name back to guard, Thuney back to guard, or keeping him at the tackle spot and putting Kingsley at the left guard. That's why.
Okay, was this for the Super Bowl? You were saying is this
Super Bowl? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought Andy Heck was referencing like before the Super Bowl, like game and stuff before then. But yeah, King Suma got to be sucker. Throw him in too if he was. Throw him in. Everybody getting their lunch ate that day. Shoot.
Yeah. Nah. Oh well. I mean,
I don't know. Could have been. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out. Like we talked about Simmons and Jalen Moore, we're gonna find out who's gonna be the top dog for that spot.
But I'm saying as far as like King Suma and Caliendo, like you was talking about going to training camp. This is gonna be it, right? This is gonna be the fight. This is gonna be the fight. So
yeah, it should be good. And again, talk about depth. I mean, people can I can be mad all day long about the way I thought Caliendo played. Regardless, of 7 games he has under his belt now because of last year, and he is an experienced left guard in the league now. So that we do have a guy who has done it before, right? So if Kingsley does start, he gets hurt, you have Caliendo who can come in and take over. That's having depth and experience depth, which it's a blessing to have.
Yeah, we got other guys. We got Norzad, we got Wanye, we got
CJ
Hansen, our guy, that came over on the pod, so
yeah. Oh, I agree.
Ray 028. The last time the Chiefs got blown out in the Super Bowl was 5 years ago against the Bucs. The media acts as if the Chiefs are the Jets, the way they talk about the Chiefs' demise every year. Ray, they're looking for it. And that's exactly what you do. So you kick an opponent when they're down, right? That's what they're doing with the Chiefs. Chiefs get to the Super Bowl, which 30 other teams couldn't do. Okay? 30 other teams couldn't do. And we get beat. Now, they can sit there and say, we were going to give them a much better game. This and about. Well, y'all suckers didn't even get there. We earned it. That's what we did. We kicked everybody's butt to get to the place we needed to get to. Now, we didn't have a good showing because of the things that end up happening, right? It just didn't go our way. It's a bad deal, man. Interceptions, turnovers, you name it, getting thrown around. I mean, all those different things was happening to us. We didn't look good at all. We didn't look good. But, hey, teams can say what they want to say. But the Chiefs are still the ones at the top. We understand. We know what the barometer is. We know that. So the Eagles, they got the bragging rights at this moment. Okay, they do. All right, they kicked our butts. We understand. Everybody saw it. The whole world saw what happened to us. That's all right. Okay, we coming back with a vengeance. That's what we're doing. So we told everybody, buyers beware. You want to go somewhere else? Fine, do that. Okay, do that. It's right here. Coming for you. Coming for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, dog and the Chiefs gives clickbait, and we have a lot of very loyal, devout fans. So when they do come at the Chiefs, they know they're going to get a lot of us coming and swarming and retweeting, favoriting, and quote tweeting and commenting, saying, "Oh, you suck. You don't know what you're talking about." So they do it purposely. They know how passionate this fan base is. They do it. They poke and prod because they know how passionate we are. So
yeah,
that's why they do these things.
They love seeing the Chiefs take an L. They love it. They love it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.